Bienvenue to my dream studio in France. Let's see it. This is a place I really fell in love with. Je suis tombée amoureuse de ce studio. It has some timeless pieces, this cozy, rustic feeling. J'adore, il y a beaucoup d'histoires. Let's discover it today, starting with la chambre. So la chambre, elle est séparée par des rideaux, separated by curtains. If you look over here, on voit une petite chienne, little puppy Mimi, that is so comfortable in the studio. She also loves it as well. So, nous avons la chambre, the room. Il y a un lit très confortable, very comfortable bed. And if you go inside the room, you can notice that we have une fenêtre, bien sûr. It's important to have a window for the bedroom. We have this thrifted lamp which turns off and on. On l'allume et on l'éteint. And what I love about the studio is il y a un ancien téléphone. There's an old telephone dialer. It's what I love about France is that there are so many things that we can thrift in different stores, dans des brocantes, dans des marchés aux puces, which is also stuff I love sharing on this channel. Pour la chambre, you can see qu'on a une petite étagère. We have a bookshelf as well, avec des livres, which I think is so important. Il y a un petit écran. There's a little screen. Probably I would get a bigger screen or perhaps a projector, mais c'est très beau d'avoir ça, vraiment un coin cozy, a very cozy corner in the house that is very well separated. It has really good lighting coming from the natural light, coming from this lamp, and also coming from the lamps that are put above. And I think la lumière, light matters so much in a place. Ce qui est super, c'est qu'on peut le séparer. We can separate it as well. If you're sleeping and if you are sleeping with someone, you can just separate it and it becomes a divider. T'as vu? Mimi, it's becoming her room. She has her own private room. What I'm in love with is tous les détails qu'il y a dans le studio. One of the major ones I think that make any place or studio or home cozy, c'est la cheminée. C'est vraiment... the chimney, the fireplace is really, c'est très important. It's so important to make it feel cozy. Et ce qui est chouette is that we can actually use it. Later, you can also see some clips of me using it. Mais en vrai, une cheminée is really what makes a place feel very cozy. On a les allumettes juste ici. We have the matches just here. Et on a un tableau et on a une ancienne lampe. So this used to be a lamp. I saw these in my grandparents' home in Lyon. Et donc on a la lampe vraiment à l'ancienne et j'aime beaucoup. Everything is in the small decorations. On a une petite statue et on a un fer à repasser. We have like an iron, which is what my grandma used to use at the time. Et je trouve ça chouette d'utiliser ça comme décoration for decoration. Here, nous rentrons dans la partie pour manger, pour travailler. So it's where we have the main table where you can invite guests, can invite people to eat, and I can also use it as a desk to work. We can see that le plafond, c'est un plafond à la française. So it's a roof that is made in the French style. So it means that la charpente et les poutres are these wooden sticks, sont apparentes. We can see them. Et honnêtement, c'est très beau. I know a lot of people have had it covered in the past, mais honnêtement, le plafond à la française, c'est très très beau. Ça ramène vraiment un côté cozy, vraiment un côté chalet. It really feels like we're in the mountains in a cozy place. Et même ici, on voit que la charpente est apparente. And this is actually quite rare because on the roof, we can sometimes see that these beams, these wooden beams, we can see them clearly. But usually on the walls, people try to cover them. A very chalet, rustic, cozy feel. Et ce que j'adore dans ce studio, c'est la décoration, the decoration. We have les cadres, we have some frames that were probably thrifted with photos. Et on a cette magnifique lampe, this beautiful lamp that looks like flowers. La lumière compte beaucoup, lighting counts a lot, and really seeing this lamp in the corner of the room, it really adds some coziness, and c'est une table en bois. I really like wooden tables. Nothing against very modern tables, but I feel like wooden tables et les tables rondes, it really brings some coziness, and then you can work closer together, you can eat closer together. Et pour la protéger, to protect it, on va mettre un peu de plastique, which is toujours très très utile. Tout est dans les détails, everything is in the details. So là, on a des petits cadres avec des photos. Et ici, on a ce qu'on utilise pour faire des gaufres. You can make waffles, you can make other sorts of foods for the chimney. And here is where we use all the different items and things for the fireplace. Ce que j'adore, what I really love about places like this is, yes, it's much smaller, c'est beaucoup plus petit que les grands appartements and big apartments or big houses, mais j'aime beaucoup le fait qu'il y a énormément de personnalité dans ce lieu. There's so much personality in a place like this, whether it's the vintage lamps or the small objects. Et je pense que les objets qui tiennent une histoire, objects that really hold a story and that have a story behind it, really add so much to a place. There's also another aspect is that although I'm French from Lyon, I grew up in Asia, en Asie. Tout est très moderne, we have really modern apartments. And as much as I love modern apartments, je trouve qui tiennent pas beaucoup d'histoire. You know, there was not really a story behind it. Perhaps there was a story on the land before. Un lieu comme ça tient énormément d'histoire, you know, holds a lot of history, and there are stories behind it. And for me, it's just a feeling that I have, that I feel much more connected to a place when I know that there's been history there, you know, whether it's a historical building or a historical place. Il y a des désavantages, you know, there are disadvantages. That doesn't mean that you can't redecorate it in a modern way, because I think you can have a historical building, but you can still do very modern renovations when you live inside. So same for this, you know, we are in really historical buildings. C'est un lieu tellement riche en histoire. It's a place that's so rich in history, and of course we can bring our own story, notre propre histoire à l'intérieur. We can bring our own objects, you know, that we thrifted, or frames and objects that are meaningful to us or that comes from our family. Et vraiment, tout est dans les détails. And that's what I really love about this home as well, is that a studio can be very small, but can really mean a lot if you put in your personality. Je suis à côté de la fenêtre. I'm next to the window. Et il y a vraiment une vue magnifique. Next week's video, I'm filming where I currently am, but it's a very beautiful seaside city, and I can't wait to share it with you. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video. Now onto la salle de bain, the bathroom. We're expecting it to be small, but it's actually très moderne, very, very modern. If you have a look inside, on a quand même une douche qui sépare bien, very modern, which you can close directly like this. We have a very modern bathroom, and that has a glass door to be able to close it. On a un miroir, we have a mirror, and we also have a lot of shelves, you know, pour le rangement, because I think in a bathroom, c'est très important de pouvoir ranger ses produits, ses choses. And so, on a quand même pas mal de rangements, places to store our stuff. Et tout en haut, as you can see, the lighting is very good. There's modern lighting. But il y a aussi un fil comme ça. There's also a line like this to hang clothes. Even though it's small, c'est un petit studio. Maybe some of you saw my old studio video that I made in Paris, and so you can really compare that. They're about the same amount of space, but this one is just so much better and well arranged and has so much more personality. En fait, il y a beaucoup de rangements. There's a lot of places where you can store things. Très important. Les assiettes, les verres, les mugs, etc. Dans la partie cuisine, in the kitchen area, on a tout ce qu'on a besoin. We have everything we need. On a le frigo, the fridge, de Moulinex. Et c'est très moderne. It's very modern because we have an induction stovetop, so une plaque à induction, which, you know, in a lot of apartments, I feel like we don't have these modern ones. C'est hyper pratique and it's very useful. On a la partie robinet and on a même un micro-ondes. The oven is one of those portable ovens that you can take out when you need it. But what I like in the back of this kitchen is we built a little shelf over here, une petite étagère pour la machine à café. And I'm pretty sure that this could be easily replaced by une bouilloire, water boiler as well. Donc elle est très mimi cette cuisine. It's very very cute. And aussi tu peux mettre tes sauces. And there's this extra shelf which you can use it like as a little counter. C'est hyper pratique. Il y a les toilettes. And I didn't even show you where on peut se reposer, where we can rest. On a deux petits fauteuils canapés ici. Couches that are here that you can see the both sides of the windows. Et qui est en face de la cheminée. So for winter, c'est vraiment parfait. It's really perfect because you can just be with un chocolat chaud or you can have dinner and you can be right in front of the fireplace relaxing. There are places where you can store like your jackets and your clothes. There's a lot of places to store things. Et c'est ce que j'aime bien, c'est que beaucoup de studios, I feel like you see all of the things outside all at once. But in this studio here, tout est bien rangé, tout est bien fait. And it's really optimized, you know? Like tu peux vraiment te reposer. You can really rest when you are in the bedroom. Can even separate it here. Super, super good. T'as vu? Elle dort. You can really rest in the bedroom, and then in the kitchen when you invite people you can really work there, eat there together, and then you can cook at the same time. Mais j'aime beaucoup ce studio and it's super surprising how small it is. Mémé's in front of the chimney. Mémé loves being here, getting for the chimney for later this evening, which is so cozy. And here is la partie où je peux travailler, where I can work, mais c'est aussi l'endroit pour prendre un petit café et pour manger. And I like that it's this side of the studio that is really cozy. There's even a vintage lamp and il y a même une table dans le coin avec des cadres with some frames. Et c'est tout dans les détails. It's all in details. It's really adding objects that show off your personality and that bring personality to the place. A place, ça dépend vraiment de sa personnalité, his personality, son atmosphère et le sentiment qu'on a and the feeling that we have when we walk in it. It's a space that's really ours to decorate, to bring personality to, and to feel cozy and at home. And I know que personnellement, I love places that have history and I also love items that have history, which is why j'adore aller dans des brocantes. I love going to flea markets and vintage stores and looking at vintage things, which is probably also why I love film photography and I love film cameras. C'est un art qui dure dans le temps, it lasts in the time, et il y a une histoire derrière. Every photo has a story behind it, just like objects have stories behind it, which is probably why I prefer to buy secondhand and I love going into des brocantes, des marchés aux puces. I love going to flea markets, to vintage stores. It holds so much more story. Et c'est meilleur pour la planète et c'est meilleur pour notre porte-monnaie. It's better for the planet and for our wallet as well. But it's mostly for the story side, is that it's amazing to have objects that have lived before and also that mean a lot to us. Just like this tiny home. Même si ça fait à peu près 20 mètres carrés, it's only 20 meters squared. Another reason why I love traveling in France and showing you hidden gems of different cities all all across France. I love seeing all the different types of apartments and housing that people in different cities in France can have, and it's part of understanding like the local life. And perhaps I can do future housing apartment videos in different cities. Let me know if this would interest you, because this is something that I personally like to watch. If this would, let me know in the comments so I know that perhaps in the future when I go travel to a new city, I can also share with you the apartment and the different styles of living in different cities. I really enjoyed showing you a sneak peek of this studio que j'aime trop, that I love so much. Me and Mamie are discovering this town right now. If you would like to support me in the work that I do, you can give me a super thanks or hype this video. I hope to see you next week because we're gonna explore this amazing town that we're currently in. Can't wait to see you there. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt!